Hello YouTube! My name is Aaron Davies and I'm a heart dad. I wanted to make this very first video very general. It's not about Epstein's anomaly, even though that's what my son has. This is going to be 5 things you need to know about congenital heart disease, CHD. If you have a family member, a son, a daughter, maybe your husband or wife has congenital heart disease and you want to learn more about it, this video is totally for you. So here it is, 5 things you need to know about CHD. Number 1, 1 in 100. CHD is 1 in 100. That's not rare. I don't know if I need to run the math for you on different sorts of diseases. I haven't looked up the statistics, but I can tell you that 1 in 100 is not rare. You probably know a bunch of people with heart disease, and maybe you didn't even know it. So, how many times have you talked to somebody that said, "Oh, I had a hole in my heart," or somebody I know had a hole in my heart? There's very common heart diseases, and you should know that you are not alone. There's tons of us out there. There are Facebook groups, there's charities, there's heart walks that go on every year. There's tons of people that are in the same situation that you're in. So don't feel alone. Know that this is something that other people are dealing with. Number 2. You need to get educated on this disease if this is a person you care about. If this is your son or daughter, you need to know everything there is to know about that disease. That's your job as a parent. So watch videos, talk to your doctor, have them draw a picture of the heart and talk to you exactly about how it works. I'll do videos later about these sorts of educational things. I am not a medical professional by any means. I'm a software engineer. My wife is a newborn intensive care nurse, and she has educated me about all this stuff. So that is your job as a parent. You are your child's #1 advocate, and you need to get educated on their disease. Number 3. Try again. Number 3, find a specialist. What do I mean by that? I mean, don't go down to the random doctor on the side of the, 2 blocks down from your house because it's convenient. Don't do it. Drive 200 miles, fly somewhere. Find the person that specializes in your child's or this person you love's heart condition and go to them for surgery. If you have a local cardiologist that you find that you love, great. That's what we have too. It's not realistic to fly every time you want to see a cardiologist unless you've got tons of money. In that case, go for it. But for surgery, for intervention where they're actually going in and changing a valve or doing something like that, find a specialist. Do not just go to the surgeon who's super confident and no, he's never seen somebody with Epstein's anomaly, but he's totally going to go after this and he's going to do a great job and he promises you. Don't do it. We've done it. A lot of people have done it. I read people online every day that tell me about the surgeon that they're going to see for Epstein's anomaly and how they told them they need a heart transplant. And thank God we're there, because we can point that person at an actual Epstein specialist and get them a second opinion. That's the other thing. Get a second opinion, man. Just people are so there's this culture we have, right, where doctors know everything and they are right, and you don't question them, right? That's the culture that we have here in the United States. That is so wrong in so many ways. Doctors do know more than you. They've been to school and blah, blah, blah. But getting a second opinion is absolutely the right decision if you are doing an open heart surgery and it's not emergent. Like, you're not having it right this second and, oh my gosh, they're going to die if you don't have it. And no. If you're in that situation, you do what you got to do, right? Like, that's what we did. That's a situation we were in here locally, and we had to have 2 open heart surgeries from a surgeon that we didn't want to have open heart surgery with. It went, he saved my son's life, but it went pretty bad. And now we've been through 7 open heart surgeries, and he's 5. So if you can do it, if it's not an emergency, find a specialist. Number 3. Number 4, don't be afraid to ask for help. Oh my gosh, there's so many people out there that can help you that you have no idea. There's Facebook groups. Go on Facebook and search up Epstein's anomaly. There's 3 groups. Each of them have over 1,000 people in them. Well, at least the biggest ones do. Um, look for your specific condition on Facebook, and I guarantee you'll find something, right? And if you don't, start it. Maybe other people will find you. So finding help is not hard. Go to that group, ask questions. They're not going to criticize you for asking the same question that 10,000 people before you've already asked, right? It's easy to find help. Let's say you're in another city. Let's say you've decided to take my advice. You're going to see a specialist, and you're going to fly somewhere to do that. See if there's a local Ronald McDonald House, and get in there. It's free if you can't afford it. We stayed at the Ronald McDonald House for like 2 to 3 months when we were in Minnesota. It's $20 a day, and you didn't have to pay that $20 a day if you didn't have to afford it. You got a beautiful room, you got food, you got taxi coupons, all sorts of stuff. People are also so generous, I've learned, if you actually need help, right? Think about all those like GoFundMes that you see start up by people. I need money for my car. I need money for my whatever it is, okay? And a lot of these people really need it, and some of these people don't, right? So these people are just starting up a GoFundMe because they're like, oh, I don't have any money, and I want to do this thing, and I want to go on vacation, and I haven't been to Hawaii yet, so can you pay for it? Right? So we kind of become desensitized to those GoFundMes. But what I found that is if you actually have a medical need, you have a child that's been in the hospital for a month, you're losing your job because you have to be at the hospital every day, people will step up and help if you ask. And other people will probably step in and ask for help on your behalf, even if you don't want them to. That's what's happened to us. They'll raise money for you. They'll come clean your house. They'll cook you dinner. Like, find help. Do not try to do this by yourself. That's number 4. Number 5. It's the beginning. It's not the end. Probably. And I don't mean to say that in a morose way. I just know that for some people, they don't make it. But what do I mean by it's the beginning? So what I mean is there's so many amazing things that have come out of our son having a heart disease that would have never happened had he not had this heart disease. There's so many families that my wife has helped find, a doctor. Like they were struggling and they didn't know what to do, and their local doctor was saying he was going to die. And my wife has given people advice, and their child has lived. And so things like that would never have happened if this disease hadn't happened. So don't look at this like it's the end of the world, okay? There's good that can come out of this. A lot of good. And it's up to you to make that happen and think positive. I just want to say my son's been through 7 open heart surgeries. He's been on ECMO twice. He's been shocked. He's almost died so many times. I can't even tell you. And those moments are there. And they're in my memory. But I don't think about them. No. We were in Minnesota for 3 months, okay? Going through this terrible thing. And you know what I remember from those 3 months? I remember the nurses. I remember the doctors. I remember laughing with the nurses and joking. I remember all the dates I got to go on with my wife because it was just the 2 of us in negative 20-degree weather. And we got to go to the Canadian honker. You don't remember those horrible things. Those horrible things are so short, and they're gone. And we've had 5 years with this kid. A year of it's been hard. Even less. 6 months of it has been truly hard. 4.5 years has been happy times. And just normal childhood, laughing, tickling, happy things, right? So just know that. Know that this is not the end. It'll make you a better person. And you got to think positive. Sorry. I didn't mean to get emotional today, but I just want to get across that point that it's almost always happy. So, all right. Recap. 1 in 100. Oh my gosh. 1 in 100. You're not alone. There's millions of us out there. Okay. Find a Facebook group. Talk to people. Find out, does somebody else have your disease? 1 in 100 people do. I'm probably going to do these in a different order than I did them in the first place, and that's okay. Number 2, find help. It's so easy. Just go on Facebook. Look for a group with the name of your specific disease, and I guarantee you there's one. Epstein's is super rare. 1 in 200,000 people have Epstein's. That means like 1,000 people in the United States. A little more than 1,000 people in the United States have Epstein's anomaly. But there's like 1,500 people in one of these groups. So I don't care how rare the disease is. There's somebody out there that can help you. And there's probably a doctor that specializes in it. And you just got to go look for that help. Number 3, find a specialist. So important that you don't just go to a random Joe Schmo surgeon down the street. Cardiologist, whatever, find one you like, find a local one. That's convenient. Do not go to a surgeon just because it's convenient, right? Heart disease is a slow thing. Sometimes it takes months and months and months for the disease to develop to the point where you have to intervene and have surgery. And if you have that luxury, you need to find who's the best person to do this operation, who's done the most, who's done thousands of this operation, and they are 99.9% confident that they're going to do it right. Right? Find that person and go to them. And number 4, get educated. Get educated. You are your child's best advocate. You're that person's best advocate if it's your husband or whoever, right? Especially if it's your child, right? People can advocate for themselves if they're adults. But if it's your child, you need to understand everything about their disease. You need to know their history. You're going to know it better than any other doctor that you go to. They're not going to take the time to read through the entire history of your child's disease, right? That they might, but it just seems unlikely when most doctors have dozens or hundreds of patients. How are they possibly going to know as much as you could if you pay attention and you understand and you take that time to understand this disease fully, okay? Get educated. And last but not least, it's not the end, it's the beginning. And I know it feels like the end. I know we've been scared to death so many times, but it's not the end. And even if he had died, during these situations, good would have come out of it, okay? I cannot stress that enough, that it's going to be okay. I can't I can't say that. I'm talking from personal experience, right? Like, my son's been through so much, and I've always had this positive attitude, but I've always known that he might not make it, right? And you have to accept that, especially if it's a very serious disease. You have to be realistic about it, but make something good come out of it, okay? It's not the end. It's the beginning, and it's a life that maybe you didn't expect. It's maybe something that you didn't want. I certainly didn't want my son to have heart disease. But make the most of it. All right, that's it. The end. Episode 1. Bye. Hit subscribe if you want to see more videos, and I'll try to put some links in the description for things like Ronald McDonald House and other charities and things that you might find interesting if you're looking for help. Okay, have a great day. Bye.